Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships, M3TV News, the stream that gives you the best news, as always. This is your boy M3, and I have a special guest. Well, actually, I have two special guests. So let me go ahead and introduce you guys. First, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. King.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Peace and blessings, King. Salute to you. Thank you for joining into the live stream.
Peace, brother. Peace.
And I got to bring in Mr. Shelf. He's also a part of Conversations with King. And then last but not least, one of my best homies, Mr. Best in the World.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
going on, y'all? Fam is here. What's going down?
All right. What's going on?
Nothing much, fellas. I'm just glad that you guys are here, and it's a pleasure to be able to interview you guys. Mm-hmm. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Your show is on fire. I mean, within 2 weeks of you guys just open up a YouTube channel, man, you guys is already, man, just putting the fire in the heat. But most of all, the most important thing is that people can chime in, listen, and then they could walk away learning from something.
Right.
And that's the best part, is blooming through the flowers, So without further ado, like I said before, this live interview with King and Shelf from Conversations with King.
Right.
Yeah. So, before I get to the question, we already have people in chat already giving us support. Mm-hmm. So I want to definitely give a shout out to Marcella Flowers. Shout out to you, sis. Thank you for tuning in.
That's the queen over there. That's the queen.
Yep.
The queen of all flowers.
We actually named we have a community garden, but we have the Men on the Rocks and Women of Flowers, but it was named after Marcella Flowers. And also my father's nickname for my mother was Kola, which means flower in the country.
Oh, okay.
It's actually after her and my mom's.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
The Kola flower actually is indigenous to Ghana as well. Just want to throw that out there.
He's so smart, man. That's why he's my right hand man. That's the big bro. He's so smart, man.
Yeah, Shelf is always deep with the history, man. And so that's the part that I definitely respect. Well, I respect both of you guys a lot, like I said, I'm always learning something new, man, whenever I'm tuning in. So man, thank you for educating me on that one. And I want to also shout outs to my Vivid Life. She's also a new subscriber. Shout outs to you, sis.
Shout out,
Thanks for
word.
tuning in.
Peace.
Okay. Let's see. Get those likes up. Definitely, please.
Definitely get them
Everybody.
likes up. Like and subscribe.
You know, Atlanta Thrasher, thank you. Welcome.
Atlanta Thrasher, my brother. What's going on, baby?
Yeah. Yeah, we already having like 13 likes so far. That's good, man. That's good. Let's keep it up. We also have First Lady Tammy. She's also a part of the
Hey,
non
First Lady Tammy. What's going on, girl?
She said she's watching for a laptop. All right. Yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, definitely happy Halloween to you as
Happy Halloween to you, Atlanta Thrasher. Good seeing you, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump to the first question, right? You know, the getting to know you questions.
All right.
Same as gentlemen, right? Tell us about yourselves.
Oh man, this is crazy. I am I was born and raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I was fortunate enough to have grow up in a two-parent household. My parents are from Ghana, West Africa. Also through their hard work and their love and nurture, I was able to go to some of the best schools in the U.S. From Brooklyn Tech High School to Boston College for 2 degrees, bachelor's and master's, and then Columbia University for another master's. I was also fortunate to have the opportunity and ability to travel the world. Went to about 50 plus countries. In that time, also came back and ran for a city council in my district, and helped my father with his organization that basically uses disheveled buildings, refurbish them, and use the entire rental income to give back to the community. So, it was cool. But then it's another side of me too, because not only did I go to the best schools and travel well, but unfortunately, due to not valuing the lessons my parents gave me, I ended up going to the feds because of greed. So I ended up, doing something illegal, put me in the feds, but I was able to go there for like a year and a day and write this book. Wrote this book called Loving Life Through the Eyes of Travel.
Let me zoom in real quick. Hold that book up real quick. I want to zoom in.
Thank you. Loving Life Through the Eyes of Travel. I was able to write this book inside and about traveling the world with different women and, find the best way to romance women, appreciate women, and also find your better self without being that simp, right? It's cool to be passionate. It's cool to be a giver, but there's boundaries. So that book is about that. And so I'm just a regular kid from Brooklyn that that talks his stuff sometimes. That gets it gets very very truthful. I'm about being truthful to the people and providing solutions. I'm more about solutions. I don't want to waste anybody's time.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Like we're trying to find solutions as well. Before I continue, I want to shout out to DJ Eddie King. He's also part of National Relationships. He is the music coordinator. So thank you for tuning in, DJ Eddie King. Yeah.
Peace.
I did so like a question I have, right? Before I get to Shelf. Okay, so that's very cool. Like you had the time to write your book through the eyes of travel. Right. And so like how many countries have you places have you traveled so far, to be able to write that book?
No, I traveled to 50 plus countries. But even this book, I couldn't cover everything because certain stories I couldn't tell. But I definitely traveled to 50 plus countries, and that's probably the best learning experience you could have as a man or woman. It's one of the things that I encourage everybody to travel. That's the best way. Sometimes you gotta get lost to find yourself, and that's what traveling.
Well, that's definitely inspiration and amazing too. Because that's something that a lot of people either they are not able to do or they don't see the value in traveling.
Right.
So, yeah. Shelf, I'm gonna get to you, man. Tell us about yourself, my brother.
Yes, sir. I'm Chef Shapino. I was born and raised about 4 blocks away from where King was raised.
Mhm.
And on the board, we both grew up on the pretty much the borderline of Brownsville and East Flatbush, Brooklyn. And it was definitely an interesting experience. You know, I came from a 2-parent household as well. It was a it was an interesting experience, you know, a Haitian family, you know, immigrants that came into the country and went to some good schools. You know, I went to
Mhm.
prep school for a couple of years, then went to one of the local public schools as well. But one of the things that I did at around the age of 16, 17, I ended up going on tour with one of my bros, one of my best friends. The new generation would call him old school, but it was a rapper named Special Ed. And, you know, I got it made. We spent some time on the road, came back. I ended up working at a record label and I became a record executive at Epic Records under Sony at 19. I helped sign Shabba Ranks to the record label as an intern, and that catapulted me to position. I worked with Michael Jackson. I got
Oh,
credits on Michael Jackson, Dangerous, Luther Vandross, Power of Love, Sade, Love Deluxe, Groove Theory, Babyface, Tender Lover. What's the other one? Free Willy soundtrack. So
yeah.
I have multiple Grammys and Grammy projects that I've mastered under my belt. You know, moved down to Atlanta, still continue with a recording studio down here, as well as being a corporate executive. I actually am a corporate executive for a top 7 company, global company. And literally what I do is I train executives. I do executive mentorships. I've catapulted multiple frontline employees into executive management within the company itself. So I still give back to the community, you know, in
Yeah.
multiple ways. They fly me around to train white people in Boise, Idaho. In Boise, Idaho, you know, across the country. So
Wow.
one thing I say about me is, I think I had the blessing of being able to communicate with people from doctors to dirtbags. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Word.
And when I say it like that, it allows me to create peace. You know,
Mm.
even back home in the streets of BK, you know, they call me Prop Joe. So it's a part of my life, building bridges, building understanding, you know.
Yeah. Dang. I mean, chef, like, I mean, you did a lot as far as like like in the entertainment industry and like. Let me ask you this though, like what inspired you, right, to get involved into that? And and I know you said you came in like as an intern. You said you was 19 years old when you started.
I was 19 years old when I got promoted into that position. I started interning at the label at 18, but what it was
Yeah.
I had already been on the road with Ed and been entrenched. You know, we were on tour with LL, Run DMC, we knew Tribe Called Quest. So as an intern going into that label, I actually had direct connections to the entertainer class, if you will. And I was able to put something together. And
Right.
Shaba's manager actually was one of the people too that demanded that I get put into a position for the second album as well. So, you know, I put some work in, but it was based on my relationships. I think relationships are important, you know. In terms of myself, man, listen, my family on both sides of my Haitian family is all physicians. 13 children on one side, 10 children on the other. Every single uncle is a doctor. Every single aunt is either a nurse, a teacher, or married to a doctor. So
Wow.
I felt pressure as well if I wasn't going following the company, the family path. You
Yeah.
know, I felt that pressure that I had to do something big.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's remarkable, man. Like to have that young drive and that hustle because now these days, like a lot of people that is around like 18 or 20, like they don't even know what to really do. You know what I mean? Like some don't really have that direction or that mindset to really try to push through. And I do believe that relationships is definitely the key to open doors to success as well too. And then not only that, it helps, like, in my opinion, I feel like it helps um build more education. It helps other people to get out of the streets because if you're all about community. Soak up as much knowledge as you can from the big wigs, man, so that you could pass it on to the young folks, and then so they could learn and know what to expect. And whatever they decide, the choice is theirs.
No
So
doubt.
yeah, thank you guys for sharing that.
No
Mr. Best in the world, like you have any thoughts? Anything you want to say?
Oh, most definitely. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. For Chef and King, man, can you, because I always say I'm from Brooklyn, I always say I'm from Brownsville. People, sometimes they know how real it is, but sometimes they don't know how real it is. Can you explain to the viewers how real Brownsville is, East Flatbush? Let them know how real it really is, for real.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. If just on a statistic level, you got 80% of the third graders that can't. 75% of the third graders can't read on grade level.
Yep.
So if you know how they build prisons, they use the test scores from third grade. So if you tell me a whole population of 75% can't read on grade level at third grade, this is called they call Brownsville the $1 million blocks because they are pipelines to prison.
Yep.
We have the second largest concentration of public housing in New York City, and it's just a community. It's not in a borough. So you got to think about, you have a generational poverty, in a small, maybe 1.4 miles long or big, and it's just overpopulated, nothing but crime. But I don't like bragging about that too much. But everybody knows when you talk about the worst community in New York City, if Brownsville is not number one, it's probably number two.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
Chef, did you want to respond to that question? Just how real Brooklyn can get, man. How real Brownsville, East Flatbush, all that. How real it gets.
Bro, it was rough. It was extremely rough. A lot of things have taken place in that area. I have a couple of uncles that have been injured. I'm gonna say they've been injured. Just regular civilian guys being injured by the young warrior class out there, real time. There's not so much that I can say, but brother, it's not a place to play with. And just going a few blocks over to Brownsville, just to understand, a lot of the stuff wasn't just things that happened. Some of it is targeting. East Flatbush is, a heavy immigrant Caribbean area, right? So you have a lot of people that are trying to make it. You go down to Brownsville. Brownsville originally was a target. The thing that separates us from Brownsville is a street called Linden Boulevard. I lived on the corner of Linden Boulevard, between Church and Avenue A. Brownsville was a target from Jump Street. That was the first place where they targeted the eugenics movement, was in Brownsville. Sterilization of Black women started there. So to understand the targeting aspect, it was a rough place, man. I mean, by the grace of my creator, I lived, I grew, I got out, I was able to do positive deeds for others and all of that, but Brooklyn was rough, man. Gangs, the whole nine. You had to walk with your head on a swivel, know who your friends were, know who your friends were not, and know who your friends' enemies are, because that could put you in a predicament.
I mean, the history of Brownsville, even before blacks moved in, the Jews and Italians were there. And if you know the history if you study mafia, Italian mafia, Murder Inc. was stationed in Brownsville. Murder Inc. is from Brownsville. So if you know the mafia, that these are the higher hitmen, they will call the payphone and give them hits. It started in Brownsville. So no matter what community moved into Brownsville, it had a history of violence.
Oh man.
Maya Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, and all of them.
They're from there. They work there.
That was Brownsville.
Yeah. Now, best in the world, you grew up in Brownsville, am I right?
Most definitely. You know what I mean? I definitely grew up in Brownsville. Also, Fort Greene as well. I was born in Brooklyn Hospital in Fort Greene.
Right.
Me too. I was born in Brooklyn Hospital.
Chef, no, County of Kings, baby. It's only one. Shout out
Yeah.
to Fort Greene Park as well. You know what I mean? So yes, I definitely grew up there in Fort Greene and Bed-Stuy as well. Shout out to Bainbridge. They know what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to shout at everybody, most definitely. I got to give love, man. But yeah, to answer your question in three, and not to cut you off, King or Chef, you know, yeah, I definitely grew up there, man, and it was definitely a great experience. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say it's a great experience is because it taught me how to deal with any and every situation. You know, and life is hard, so you have to understand that there's certain things that come with, you know, life, and just different things are going to come at you as you're growing up. As you're going from childhood to teenage to adulthood, there's different aspects that you're going to face, and you have to be well prepared. So growing up in Brownsville, once I grew up, and now I'm working in Manhattan, I'm working around corporate people. You know what I'm saying? That discipline that you have to have. You know what I mean? If you live in such a community, that helped me when I was working in those corporate places. Because now in corporate places, you definitely have to be disciplined. And it's a different set of rules in the corporate atmosphere. So I had to learn the rules, of course. But that discipline I always maintained because of how I grew up. You know what I mean? And it's funny because, you know, I would work in the most corporate places. You know, they got security, got all types of stuff. Then I would leave there and I'd go to my neighborhood. And those are two different worlds altogether. Like, two different worlds, two different sets of people, two different mindsets. But the one thing you have to be, no matter what, is discipline. You got to be disciplined no matter what you're doing. You have to have an understanding of what's going on around you, who you're around, what your intentions are, and what their intentions are. And you have to keep that always forefront and abreast. If you don't, you will suffer the consequences, no matter what. You know what I mean? That you know, that's you know, that goes without saying. Like, you're definitely gonna face the consequences. But yeah, definitely. I'm definitely proud of my neighborhood. I'm not proud of everything that happens in my neighborhood. I'm not proud of everything that goes on in my neighborhood. But I'm definitely proud that I do come from Brooklyn. I do come from Brownsville as well as Fort Greene. And I still have family that live out there. Shout out to all my family. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Leary clan, Bowens clan, Boston clan. Y'all know what it is, man. You know, much love to all of them. But yeah, King, I know you got something to say, brother, so I don't want to interrupt. And I'll do my shout out to my Brooklyn later. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Yeah, no, I'm cool. You said everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I just go ahead.
Shout out to all of Brooklyn real quick, and let me do that real quick. Shout out to all of Brooklyn, man. Shout out to Powell Street. That's my street right there. Riverdale.
Right, Powell. What up?
Mother Gaston, Livonia. Shout out to Church Ave, Linden Ave, Linden Boulevard. Yeah. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to St. Mary's. I know St. Mary's is closed, but I still got to shout them out. St. Mary, Brookdale, Brooklyn Hospital. You know what I mean? LIU, all that, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Brownsville Houses, the Plaza, Tilden. You know what I mean?
Forgive man, Marcus Garvey.
The Towers.
Right.
Vanderbilt, all them places, man. Shout out to
big houses.
Gotta name all the blocks, man. Shout out to the 90s. Everybody, man. You know what it is, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you guys probably, if you guys probably don't know, like I was born in the West Coast, like in Oakland, California. So, you know, forgive me if I'm like just falling back quiet because I'm just more like listening because I haven't grew up like, you know, around like in the East Coast or been to like those areas. Right. Probably the one time I've been to New York was, you know, for like someone's wedding, and then that was pretty much it. And I think the most I probably traveled was like, you know, Times Square, New York, where like, you know, it's most like, you know, a popular attraction for like a lot of people. Right. As is always like advertised like on TV. Mm-hmm. But one of these days, you know, I definitely want to like, you know, like go out like, you know, New York just to like, you know, sightsee and like visit, you know. Right. But yeah, you know, definitely like, you know, shouts to like you guys and all that. And
it's funny you said that because Jay-Z in one of his songs, he always says that the city that reminds him of Brooklyn the most is Oakland.
Me too. It is.
Jay-Z said that in the song. He said, I think it was a song where he did with one of the artists out there. I forgot the artist. But he said, if Oakland looks like Brooklyn. And I never been to Oakland. But I know Chef has, and he says it's just like Brooklyn. That's what he said.
Like Brooklyn, even down to the zoning, the building codes, they're able to build a little higher than in Southern California. It's different. I could have woke up and felt like I was in Brooklyn somewhere. The vibe is closer to New York vibe too, out of all of the California, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they do say. They say like, Oakland is like a junior version of New York, especially when you go to the downtown area. And that's because like it's like the culture out there is so artsy and so talented. Now, I mean, New York is packing with all kinds of good talent. But I would say like definitely like, if there's any city that I could say that maybe probably will come second to that, or a little bit close, it's definitely Oakland,
So
go ahead.
What's up out there? We know about E40, but when the younger kids, when we think about Bay Area, we don't. The younger kids, at least the young kids. I'm older. I'm 41, but the young kids think about the Bay Area rappers like Mozzie, but he beefing with Filthy Rich. Like we listen to that music too, because they spitters out there. There's a lot of spitters out there. So how's the music out there? Who's your favorite like new like Bay Area rapper, Oakland rapper, like, or who's the most legendary in your opinion? And then you're gonna be documented because it's on your show. Who's the most legendary?
I don't mind being documented. I'm gonna say like E40 as far as like the Bay Area, even though he's from Vallejo and that's not too far away from it. Like I like E40, right? I mean, not even just like with his music, because the guy is like really talented, and I feel like sometimes like he's like slightly underrated, but I like his business model and his loyalty, like, to the community. He's not like, to me, like if you ever approach E40, right? From what I heard, like he'll treat you like just like a regular guy. Most people, who's like semi-famous, they kind of like, act like, they're like, but with E40, man, like, and also like, Mr. Fab as well too, right? E40, he's just like a person, right? I feel like he's like just super down to earth and chill. And if I had the opportunity to like, meet him in person, like I would love that. The reason why I also said Mr. Fab, because funny thing is, like I took a theater arts class with Mr. Fab. If you guys know who he is.
Yeah, we're familiar.
He's dope.
Yeah,
we familiar.
Yeah, so he's been doing like a lot of good positive things too, and I think he has a store that's called what's called the Dope Airway, that's like located in downtown Oakland, like selling like his shirts and his merch and all that. So I mean, both brothers, man, they be doing things like positive as well too. And another funny story is that even though I never met Too Short, but before he was like famous, Too Short was like one of the guys I was trying to holler at my my older cousin when I was younger. But at the time, like like I said, he wasn't famous or anything. His teeth wasn't fixed or all that. So it's just funny, kind of like hearing that type of history, But yeah,
funny story. Blow the Whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Blow the Whistle. My brother's the producer, and my business partner is a producer. He was a producer at Social Death for like 14 years, 15 actually.
Yeah.
He produced Blow the Whistle. Him and Todd, they homies. You get what I'm saying? They actually look like brothers, believe it or not. So I gotta give Too Short. For me, Too Short and Mac Dre, man. And of course, if it's top three, you gotta have E40 in there. Period.
And that's so crazy because Blow the Whistle is the song that Jay-Z said. I was in Oakland. Oakland is like Brooklyn. That's the song he said on the first line on the intro. And the intro he said that on that same song. That's crazy.
Hold on, man. You're not showing respect, man. How you not gonna mention my man?
Ooh.
The man who had his own cartoon. He had his own shoes. MC Hammer. No,
man.
Come on, man. Hammer held it down.
His props. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you went straight OG. You went straight OG.
Man. The brother had his own cartoon.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
They out there though. They really love Mac Dre. Everywhere I go, we don't say Mac Dre, they feel a way about you. If you don't mention Mac Dre name. It's like Soldier Boy Slim in New Orleans. Like if you don't say Mac Dre name, they feel a way about that. Wow.
Because Mac Dre, like he had like, I feel like his flow was so unorthodox, man. Like I don't know how to explain it right. Like even him and Keith the Sneak, right? But Mac Dre, it's like when you hear his voice, man, and the way how he be rapping, it's like he'll get you into the music, man. I can't even explain it like through details, man. But I mean, God rest his soul, man. But yeah, he was definitely like a good legendary rapper, in my opinion, in the Bay. You know. I gotta get to this question, right? Because there's two questions that was asked. Question number one was from DJ Eddie King. And by the way, everybody, get the likes up too as well, man. You know, get the likes up.
And hold on, we got to shout out everybody in the comment section. You know what I mean? That's been saying stuff, man. Shout out to Queen Feather 2K21. Shout out to Crystal Bloom and Ebony. And shout out to definitely E Black TV, my guy.
E Black, my guy. What's up?
One of the four horsemen. What's up, E Black?
Yeah. Shout out to Moments with Mickey Reed. Mickey Reed, please. Mickey Red, please. Like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for joining in. We definitely appreciate it. You know what I mean? Shout out again to Melissa Flowers. We see you, sis. Shout out to Kris. And shout out to Brittany B. Hey, Brittany B. Good to see you.
What's
Brittany
up,
Brittany B? That's the homie right there.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't forget about Colin Mitchell as well, too, though.
Hey, shout out to Colin. Yeah. Colin, what's going on, bro?
Yeah. Shout out to the boys, ZB. Thank you for tuning in. ZB.
Yeah, I've been seeing ZB so much, he got to get mail at my crib now or something, man.
Right. That's one of the realest rocks we know in our channel, in our community garden. Shout out to ZB for real.
Yeah. Shout out to
okay, now we got to get a DJ Eddie's question. Okay.
All right, and then also shout out to my Vivid Life as well.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out.
Peace, Flower.
Yeah, and later on, guys, I will open up the panel for you guys to ask like a question in a minute. But let me get to DJ Eddie's question, and then I'm gonna get to Chris's question. So the question is for King: was there a place you traveled that made you want to stay for good? That's a good one.
Man, there's a lot of places, but it's for different reasons. I would definitely say I've been to, I don't know, it's a toss-up. It's a lot of places, whether it be Australia, Indonesia, Singapore, Morocco, Egypt, but everything had a significance to me. And I talk about it in my book. So, you get the book, I talk about why certain places have a significance. Because there's certain places you could go by yourself, and in certain places I enjoy with the company of a woman. And there's other places I would love to take children, if I had children there, to actually enjoy it, So they all have a significance, have some sentimental value to me.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for answering that. Let's see, E-Beck says, where you at, DJ Eddie? DJ is here, man, up in the chat. And also, shout out to him again, because he's the one who made the intro instrumental as well, too. Get the likes up and subscribe, everybody. I'm trying to find out. Okay, this is Chris's question. She asks, what inspired King to write his book? When did he write it? I know he okay. Oh, go ahead.
That was I used to always jot down poetry and proses when I come from a trip, and I used to put on the IG, and then I used to take it off. But then I always wanted to write a book, but I never had the time because I was ripping and running. I was either trying to get money or I was in the club. And then when I got sat down, that's when I said, you know what, let me my time creatively. And I started writing in the midst of me being in the feds and, whatever issues I might have had, I was writing, Everybody's doing their time. They see this me in a corner writing. I'm getting email, in the feds. It's funny because you have an hour to be on the computer, but then you have to wait another hour to use it. So every other hour we have access to that computer. On the phone, every 15 minutes, but you have to wait every other hour to use the phone for 15 minutes. So I had to communicate with someone outside who was helping me make sure that I get my book drafted to submit to the publisher in order for it to be the way I wanted it. So it was a journey. That was a journey in itself, because sometimes I wanted to get the mail because CEOs would play games because they was like, hey, like you in here enjoying yourself, you writing, you're supposed to be doing hard, you doing time, but you taking your time to be creative. So, you know, anywhere I go, I try to make the environment my environment, you know. Also, everywhere I go, I do get into some issues because I tell people how I feel. I never back down because if it's not right, it ain't right, you know. So it's how I've always been.
Well, I'm glad, man, that you know, like you was able to utilize that time, man, for something positive.
Right.
And although I never been to prison before, but I would definitely probably have that notion that prison is definitely like no joke, especially the prison systems like in America.
Right.
The funny thing is what I learned about prison systems, and I forget what country it is, but outside of the United States, prison is supposed to be used as a rehabilitation center, right? To help restore the mindsets of, you know, criminals, help them to get their GED, their graduates, and all that. It wasn't supposed to be meant to like be like modern day slavery, torture, and all that. But the prisons in America, they want to keep you stuck and they want to keep you coming back.
Right.
That's that you broke out of that man, like, you know, I'm stuck mentality to try to do something that's useful. So of course they're gonna hate and they're gonna get upset because, you know, you're supposed to be suffered as like, you know, your consequences. But you're doing something that's wise, that's bring your upbringing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
one of my parents did over 20 years of fat time. So like I understand how it really gets, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not having that person there, and you know, you gotta send them certain things, or you know, they want to communicate with you, but they only get a certain amount of time, then the phone shut off, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that you just gotta go through, man. And people don't understand how the prison system really affects, you know, just your family.
Right.
And it affects your loved ones, man. Like the trauma and just the separation, the abandonment that your family feels. You know what I mean? Because when you in there, they in there with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like they right in there with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not physically, but in every other aspect, they definitely. And sometimes they do feel it physically too. Most definitely, they feel it physically because you're not there. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not there, you know what I mean? You're not present, and they can't be present with you. It definitely takes a toll on the family. Most definitely, man. And shout out to my
family is locked up with you.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to my parent who did the 20 years of fat time, man, and they cave, and you know, and they made it out. You know what I'm saying? They made it out this year, and I'm definitely proud of them, and I definitely definitely love them. You know what I mean? Like day one. So yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, on that case, you know, there's a lot of great people in there. And where I was locked up with, and a lot of my you know, my brethrens, my homies is in there. So shout out to Lateef Johnson, you know, free him. Shout out to my brother, for real, Brendan Green, free him. And shout out to Bumpy Patrick, what's up? That's my twin, that's my birthday twin. Free him. They all collectively, you put all the numbers, the census, the years they do it together is 105 years altogether, right? And so free them. You know, 30, 45, you know, free them. So, and these guys, hopefully they get released. Some laws get passed, they get released, and all appeals go through, and they could come back and change the community, because prison is not the place to go. It's not the place to go. It's so those who come back home, stay home. Don't do anything crazy. Stay home.
that's word, real talk, man. Let me go ahead and get to the second question. And man, these conversations are good, man. Second question is, how do you two guys get involved in the social media?
Oh man, that's crazy. I always had a strong.
They won't believe it.
Yeah, I always had a strong following, and like just club, in IG, not strong, but like probably like close to 2,000. And then, but you know, I just post up stuff because I be traveling, and post up stuff, going to the club, strip clubs, having fun, whatever. So you always get the little following.
Yeah.
But then Clubhouse hit. After I came back home, I got introduced to Clubhouse, and then I always had a voice, a very opinionated voice. And then I got recruited by a gentleman, Lapeef, and he would come to his network for a couple of shows because he showed what I was doing on Acts of Black Men, anything. I was doing that at Clubhouse. So I went to his network and still doing Acts of Black Men here and there. And then I went to his network and I made my presence felt. Things didn't work out too good. That network, Lapeef Network, is doing their thing. We don't see eye to eye. However, that was one of the networks that gave me that YouTube presence, right?
Okay.
Acts of Black Men gave me a solid foundation in Clubhouse, but it was Lapeef Show that gave me that YouTube presence. And then when we had a little, separation, and I did my whole I Declare War thing, I started my YouTube. As soon as I declared war, I started my YouTube the same night. But I think actually I opened it a few days before because I had a bad feeling about certain things. And then started my YouTube. Then the following 2 or 3 days later, October 5th, October 6th.
Oh, I gotta give a part of that, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I seen him on the King Talk. He was on King Talk, one of those episodes. And I was like, yo, he's repping BK right. You understand what I'm saying? He's not just somebody that represents what you would call a urban style. He also is an intellectual, a well-studied intellectual, right? He's also, we left something out, a politician. You left that out. I don't know if you guys understood that. He ran, you could Google it, he ran for council.
City council.
Yes.
Yeah, he mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
He was going up against the Baron, Inez Baron. The Baron family is an incumbent family that pretty much holds down Brooklyn politics.
It still do.
He had a campaign called Love.
Right.
Right. There's a lot of facets to this thing, but I knew his family name. All right. One thing we know about is our names, especially when you're immigrant too, as those of us that were brought over here without choice. One of the major things, we didn't just lose our religion, our language, we lost our name. You remember Kunta Kinte, Toby? We lost our name. Recognizing the name, especially where we come from, the places that our families come from, is big. And I saw the name, and I was like, he's from Ghana. That's Accra. And I was like, that's a big family. And I also knew his name because of one of his relatives, one of his siblings. So at that point, I started watching, and he ended up moving over to the actual big Lapeef Let's Talk show on Thursdays.
Yeah.
He gave one of the people there a run for his money. And I was like, yeah, go Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Real talk. And then what happened, because I'm also a writer. You get what I'm saying? And I have a way of articulating some of the things that I'm saying. I parse my words. So I got tight after the last episode he was on there. I gave a little brief dissertation, right? And then he ended up going on the next show, and he used one of the terms. He was like, yeah, I talked about the tenets of journalistic integrity.
Right.
He responded to my message, and he was like, yeah, you're a wise man, right? And I was like, peace. And then he said it on the show. I was like, okay, I see that, And then one day, bro, literally, he just popped on. I just happened to come home. I had a couple of drinks in me. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait up, this dude is on. So I called him from my kitchen. I called in to the StreamYard from my kitchen, and we've been cooking ever since. 28 days in, 700 and how many subscribers?
Oh man, we got 700. Let me tell you right now, we got 700 and Don't beat me up because my computer look crazy. We got
You guys
700 and have
732 subscribers.
732 subscribers.
You know what's
Seven.
funny?
Yeah.
Earlier today it was 700. I think it was 724 something, and now you guys have 732.
Yeah,
This morning we were at 706. This morning it was
Okay.
706.
It was 706 this morning. It was 706.
Crazy, right?
It was 706 this morning, and then shout out to Sherelle. She made some phone calls for us, but now we have 732. And the thing is, we've been up for 3 weeks. We started October 5th, so November 5th makes it a month. My goal was to get to 1,000 subscribers and finish all the requirements for monetization in a month.
Okay.
And I wanted to do that to prove a point to the other people that silenced me. So, but that was my goal. And and shout out to Lenski, Loverboy Lenski.
Already.
Yeah.
Loverboy Lenski.
Had your girl, had your wife. Call him testosterone.
Yeah, so we have a family, community garden that stick together, and we all going to accomplish that goal. And we want to make sure everybody gets to that. We got the 4 horsemen, E Black and Darrell, and then we got the Knights. We got Sean, and we got Willie Dean, and we got Hannibal, and then we got the rocks and the flowers in the garden. So we're really like a whole community of family, and we're trying to get to go together. So it's not just me. And then we got the family, and the family consists of M3, Mr. Best led by Mr. Best in the World, and Mr. Best in the World leads me, King, Maricela, and we got a couple of conglomerates. We're keeping quiet. We're trying to make a network because we're gonna try to take over the game silently. So let's be on the lookout for that. There's gonna be a lot of collaborations, and hopefully everything pans out. But for me, Conversation with King, we shifting the paradigm. When you think about me and Chef, we want you to think about Neo and Morpheus, the Matrix, right? So we're going resist, but we're not gonna die, right? And if we do die, we're gonna switch the platform to TV, but we're not gonna die. We came in to change the game for everybody thought about it. So if you, I wish I could show you my analytics, if I could share the screen, but we're different. We already at 220K impressions. There's no, I don't think there's any other show that got the level of engagement that we have. We produce numbers, and when our live gets, remember I do streams for 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, and we get up to 120 people. And if you know how it works, that 120 people might be 400 because people going in and out. And we get that going for 4 hours. So, and we do it 7 days a week. So nonstop. So we're a little bit different. And we want everybody that's with us to win. And anybody that's not with us, we want to advise them to be very cautious. Be very cautious and stay our way. Because if it's not Conversation with King, if it's not the 4 Horsemen or the Community Garden, and if it's not the family, be very, very cautious. That's it.
Yeah. Talk to us nicely. Talk to us very nicely.
Real nicely. Smooth and nicely though.
Right.
Also,
and we don't choose sides. So whoever messes with that other network and stuff, we want you to continue to show them love too, because they still black men. And they can still get it too, but it's all friendly competition, man. You got the Knicks and the Nets. Who's the best in New York, right? So we could both play for YouTube, but we just trying to see who's the best. That's all.
Right. And before I get to your question, Colin, right? Okay, under the description, right, for the people like who follow me but are not familiar with King and Chef, I put the description of the YouTube link to follow Conversation with King.
Thank you.
Go ahead and follow his YouTube channel, right? Look,
follow.
Even though they have 432 right now, but come on, let's get it up there. So that's the main goal,
732.
Yeah. So come on, let's get it up there, man. Let's get them monetized real quickly.
Yeah, like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe. Conversations with King. You know how you do, for real.
Yeah. And also subscribe to E Black TV as well too, though. Represent my guy as well too, man.
Yeah, Black TV,
down to earth brother. Yeah, and Chef as well.
Chef, it's gonna be Chef space Chupino. That's on YouTube. I got a page. I'm literally a chef as well, not just the music stuff. So chef space Chupino, like you see it, just with a space in between it, and Chef Chupino at IG. So I got some food experiences for you on my page as well. So check it out.
I was gonna ask you about that too, Chef. I was gonna ask if you really, for the public, so they can know that you're really a chef. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely got to ask you for some recipes, man. Definitely, because I'm doing a special lifestyle, so I need different types of food I know you health conscious too. Like I know.
Yeah, I mean, I cook all type of international cuisine. I'm able to do vegan, pescatarian. So it's.
Good job. Thank you.
I run the gamut.
Mm-hmm. We need y'all Cash App, Chef. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Colin Mitchell, for liking and subscribing.
I didn't want to be rude and go and putting it on your platform like that. That's how I falling back.
Nah, bro, go ahead. Do your thing.
Hey, hold on. Let me make it clear to everybody, right? Look, man, one thing I learned, right, is that there's going to be plenty of money, right? And it's going to be enough for everyone, okay? Feel free to put your Cash Apps out there, Just send me all the links in the private chat, and then I'll highlight it. And look, guys, if y'all want to donate to, feel free to donate to the live stream as well. But if you want to support King, if you want to support Chef, man, go ahead, man, and Cash App them right now. So yeah.
Me, it's your page, it's your time. Anybody that want to Cash App me, give it to their page. This is their time. You want to Cash App me, give it to their page. That's what we're in their house right now. So we support their house. Let us pay our dues to them. So if you feel like Cash Apping me, Cash App them, please.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Much respect.
Yeah.
Colin, make sure just like to subscribe to our channel too. We're Conversation with King, so you're at 733 now. Shout out to Colin. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, Colin, for real.
Appreciate you, man.
We always need diversity in here too, as well. We're it's not just black folks only, man. We're open up for everybody.
It's not.
Sure.
You do have a question, so I'm going to read this question for you guys. This question is to King and Chef. When did you finally realize what you wanted to do in life? How did you find your passion? And at M3, if we are taking questions, are we taking questions?
Definitely. If y'all want to ask questions, put in the chat. We're definitely taking questions. Definitely.
And then later, when we get to the 1 hour mark, we're going to open up the panel for people to join. So we're going to try to bring one person at a time. Okay. All right. So sure. Let me highlight the question again.
Right.
He said, "When do you finally realize what you wanted to do in life?" Right. He said, "This is a question for both of you guys."
I mean, well, I never decided what I wanted to do in life, but I always knew how I wanted to live and how I wanted to impact people. So what happened was I did everything that I could to live the life that I live and impact people productively and positively. So it wasn't like, I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. When you're a little kid, you think like that. But as you get older, you start opening your mind to, because I try to start opening your mind to there's different ways to make an impact in this world, And so anytime I wanted to do something, make a change, I just immersed myself in it. When I wanted to teach, I became a teacher. When I wanted to change my community systematically, I became I ran for office, but before that, I was a community activist and advocate. Now I see that where the world is going now, if you don't have a presence in social media, you can't even think about making a social change. If you want to be a social agent, you have to be a part of social media. And the best way and the fastest way to provide solution based conversation is on social media. So I decided to create this after what happened. And I realized this might be my calling, because it allows me to use all my gifts and strengths and my experiences to actually give back to the world. And also allows me to provide opportunities for people around me. And if you know me, it's like, if you watch me on the show, this is where I'm supposed to be at.
Yeah.
It's because the numbers that we're getting in such a short amount of time, it shows that it's all about timing. It's all about time. At least for me and Chef, I feel like we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be here. There's no way. And you're gonna see. You're gonna have to watch, and you're gonna see our journey. This is not something that we make up. Like we go before we even go on live. We spend literally 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours discussing how we're going to attack a particular question to get to a solution. And if we stay on the course instead of getting distracted, like most times I get distracted because of arguments, but when we stay on course, we end up impacting so many people. I always teach a chef about this guy named Dr. Alvin Poussaint. Dr. Alvin Poussaint, he was the guy that Bill Cosby used for the Cosby Show to help him scaffold lessons and create valuable jewels that he would tell on the Cosby Show through jokes. So it's me, Willie Dean, Chef, and Maricela. Particularly me, Chef, and Maricela. We stick together. We're on the phone, creating thumbnails, creating. And thank you for M3 for creating most of our thumbnails because we didn't know what we was doing before he came through and saved our lives. But
it's all good, man.
And inspired Maricela to step her game up, and then we just continue to get better. But we do a lot of preparations for the 4 hours that we do. We do at least 10, 12 hours of preparation, and after when the show is done, we're on it to the point that we don't get no sleep. So it's a never-ending thing. So I give props to anybody that does this YouTube thing. This is a beast, and if you don't feed the beast, you don't get anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this real quick because I do want to shout out to Maricela again because when she took over and started doing our thumbnails, like that helped me to step my game up personally.
Oh, word?
To be better. Yeah. So it's funny, like it's like iron sharpens iron. That's how I look at it. When I saw her thumbnails, I was like, yo, man, like this is creative, this is dope. Yo, I love it. And the thing was like back then, my thumbnails was based off of Pixar. But then I started using Canva because I wanted to learn more about it. And that was during the time when I was helping you guys out with your thumbnails for a minute. And I know you want things to do like a certain way. So I was like, okay, respectfully, I'll have it constructed like that. But when I saw the way how she did it, I was like, yo, I want my thumbnails to have like, kind of similar, but just, man, looking more professional at this point. So shout out to Maricela, like shout out to you guys.
Genius.
Be better. Yes.
She's an evil genius. She's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
You got nice.
Thank you so much. Salute to the flowers.
I'm sorry.
Definitely salute.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Besserer. I know you was trying to say something. I think I interrupted you.
No, I said salute to Maricela. Definitely salute.
Yeah. Chef, man, like let me go back to the question. Like, what was like, your, let's see how I said this. What was the part when you realized what you wanted to do in life and how did you find your passion?
My situation was a little weird. King normally says the same thing about me. I was able to do a lot of things. I was a junior Mensa member. My nickname was the hip hop nerd, right? Mm-hmm. There was a lot of different things that I was pretty good at. I was able to rap. I was able to dance. I was great at school. So I did not have that thing where it was like I was running towards a particular thing. I liked computers. I liked all kinds of things. I didn't have a passion. What I did was I had a French term, family. My first language was French because my family's from Haiti, right? I didn't speak English till 5. There's something called joie de vivre. Joie de vivre. Joie de vivre. It's not just a social term, but it's a real term that means the joy of life. I was just into anything. You get what I'm saying? I just wanted to live. Did I have a specific passion? Not. I just knew that I was on the family track where, I was one of the sharper of my generation, and, I was supposed to double major, pre-med and pre-law. And that was what I was supposed to do. Things happened differently. I got pulled out of college because I did some really great stuff working at the label. So then I think music at some point really, really became my passion, right? Where because I found something that I was able to do, but it wasn't just to be able to do like sing or dance really nice. It was, I was actually doing something that was impacting people, getting people platinum records. That means that I helped 1 million people fall in love with this particular artist. And then in terms of being promoted, understanding that one of the big three at the time, record labels, thought it was smart enough to put this 19-year-old kid into a 6-figure position, you know, with corporate card and doing all of these things. So that kind of became my passion, right? But now I don't believe it. I think that my passion is my ever evolving purpose. I thought I was supposed to be one thing. At some point, as I evolved into a deeper part of my manhood, I thought it was going to be something else. You know, we always have to understand and be able to adapt and evolve and be agile to the changes that come within our environment, so that we'll continue to learn ourselves. Because if we lock ourselves into the box of that individual that we dreamt about being at 16, then you're going to be living the life of a 16-year-old's dreams. So I had to allow myself to evolve, you know, even though I work for corporate America now, right? As well as my other music endeavors, you know, I do publishing. I feel like my purpose is purpose. I feel as though my purpose is potentially service. At this point, I've made a lot of money in my life. I've had a lot of success. I've traveled, you know what I mean? But I think that the most enriching thing about me is when I know that I was able to change somebody, impact somebody, save a life, save an opportunity, allow somebody to recognize their talent, take somebody who felt dejected, give them a smile, take somebody who didn't think they had any options and flip their lens perspective so that they'll be able to see, no, you just haven't found what your niche is yet. You got to get out there. So at this point, man, in terms of my passion is my folks, man. My passion is touching people. You know, I only touched down in this internet world about 28, 29 days ago. You feel what I'm saying? But this is therapy for me, bro. You know, in fact that I'm able to connect with certain folks and give them a deeper level of understanding. The fact that I'm able to allow them see two lions warring with each other, and then I come through with words to tame the lions. You get what I'm saying? To allow them to stand next to each other. That's powerful to me. I've seen people lose their lives. I've seen homies take out homies. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, real still, man, it's my passion. My passion is people, man. My passion is my family. My passion is leaving when they dip me in the ground, that my people, the ones that love me and my kids, would be like, yeah, he was a good man. You get what I'm saying? I live, bro.
You know, I definitely like hearing that, because it's like leaving a legacy behind to like help other people be built up. And so it's when you said therapy, right? It reminds me of like one of our crewmates, First Lady Tammy. Shout out again, because she says the stream is like, you know, her therapy. You know, it's like something that she feels comfortable, you know, like just, you know, letting her guard down, like, you know, just let her business out. You know what I mean? And just walking away refreshed. And my passion is definitely a similar passion to you guys, is because, well, when I first when I first started Knowledge in Relationships, this was before the live streams. I was just making a bunch of pre-recorded videos, and you know, I just wanted to kind of like touch up with people and just kind of give them my insight. And even if I knew what I was talking about or did not know what I was talking about, it's just me like just voicing my opinion that other people were too afraid to voice. And when I felt like I was at a plateau where I was about to give up, people like my homies like Mr. Best in the World, DJ Eddie King, and First Lady Tammy helped resurrect my mindset. And so with the four of us combined, like just doing the work, and especially we have our wives and other people that's backing us up, um, knowledge and relationships wouldn't be up here without having friends like around your corner to lift you up. So, my question was like, how did you and King met, and how did you guys become so like-minded together? Where it's like you guys, because I know you said like this 28 days ago you guys made a decision, but it's like like how what I mean, like did King hit you up? Did you hit King up? Like, and I know everything. There's a time and place for it because like King, I know you went, you started by going to the Peace Network, and that's how everything kind of got aligned. And then you start, making like your own live streams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, I keep on saying we're Neo and Morpheus from the Matrix. This is something that just happened, and it happened in the right time, and to the point that I believe it's divine. I believe it's divine. Like even our chemistry, like we met each other, but like we talk every day, almost every day. No, not almost every day. Hours, yeah, hours. So what happens is, and sometimes he gotta scream at me like, "Yo, chill. What you doing? Don't mess this up." He's the one that be telling me to chill because I be want to go crazy sometimes. But
Yeah. Get the likes
yeah,
up, people.
yeah. So turn the lights up. But what happens is, I can't call it, man. I can't call it. It's just that, like I said, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And he wasn't afraid to jump on a journey with me because you gotta understand, Chef is a student, right? I'm a natural disruptor. If I don't see something happen, I'm gonna get up and run and do it myself. Just like politics, I ain't like the way my community was, so I got up and did it myself. Anything, I'm not gonna wait for someone to make the change. I'm going to make the change myself. But Chef is a student, so he's been watching these shows for years, and then he saw me and he saw the potential, but he knew that he know that for me to get to where I needed to get to, I needed someone to provide guidance and someone I respect to provide guidance and historical context behind what I'm doing, because I'm doing something great, but I'm in the moment. Chef is like, it's like he's been here before. He's trying to tell me like, what are you doing? Or you're gonna mess up your destiny. So it's kind of like it's the weirdest dynamics. It's the weirdest.
It's weird.
Like like I said, I'm Neo, he's Morpheus, and Maricela is like Trinity.
Yeah.
It's the
One of the funniest thing about it, right, is there's times where it would be like I'm talking to him and he would be bugging at how I would be seeing things and understanding, but I would understand the way that he moves. And I told him, I was like, bro, you're more like me than you even understand. You're more like the younger me. You're the one that I've been trying to control. So the reason that we vibe this way that we be vibing is, you're me. I've been fighting you all my life. You the lion I've been trying to tame. So there's times when what's funny is even when he goes, say, off the farm on him, right?
Right.
The thing is, I don't always get annoyed by it. Why? Because it's psychologically or universally, it's almost like revenge for the time back in the day when I didn't say anything about something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's times where he reminds me of the lion that when I went and did some things I shouldn't have done. He reminds me of my impulsive nature. We're very passionate people. You understand what I'm saying? And it's fuel. The thing is, so there's the times when now that I have age on me and I have experience and I got some miles, on the road, I'm able to see certain things and let them know, yo, nah, man, don't do it. Don't do it. In situations where I would have said the same to myself. But then there's times where it's like, look, go do your thing, fam. And sometimes I might get a little bit of, satisfaction because he reminds me of the lion that my ass should have sicked on folks years ago, you know.
Yeah.
So I can't. Right. So you know what I mean? It's almost like having an opportunity to replay that fight that you had, but it's not you. It's just like, what was the movie that we talked about? Gemini Man. That was, remember we talked about that?
Right.
That was
Gemini Man. That the Will Smith
movie,
yeah.
We are very similar at just different exits of the life highway, if you feel where I'm coming from.
Yeah. We got to get to Linsky's questions, M3. And then I'm asking King Chef a question about something that I really love that they do on their platform. It's something that they do, and I love it. But we got to get to Linsky's question.
All right. Before I get to the question, right? Look, I need y'all to do me a favor.
Right.
I am about to open up the chat for you guys. I don't know how many subscribers we have right now, but look, help us get to at least 500 by tonight. Okay.
Oh, come on. You got 493 right now. That's 7. Come on. Oh, we need 7 more.
Come on, y'all. Look. We had
7 more.
we got 27 likes. Okay. We got 17 people watching this live stream. Now for sure, half you guys are not, subscribed to the channel. Hit the subscribe button so I could open up the panel for you guys. All right.
Let me pull out the burner for you, M3. I got you. It comes up.
Right on. Right. Yeah, come on, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Yeah, 7 subs, y'all. So most of that, I probably will open up the chat for you guys. But
for that 500, I gotta plan a celebration for that 500.
Trying to go on vacation, man. On that 500. So, so Linsky says, King, why didn't you become a lawyer? The way you went against Rilla, you're very sharp when it comes to how you respond. You have a good memory, and you always find a way to get your point across.
Well, my sister's a lawyer, and I think I spent my whole life debating and finding a way to communicate how I feel. In regards to Rilla, it was easy. It was easy to win that. It was easy to take him off his pivot because I was telling the truth. You can't lie about who you are, and you can't lie about what you stand for. And I have the receipts, so it was easy. So he really can't refute. He could tell his opinion, but when it comes down to the facts about who I am and what my show is about, it is what it is. I made one valid point, and it comes down to this: I only have 700, and when I was going against Rilla, I had 600. That was 2 days ago, and I told him if we weren't hot, if Conversation of Kings wasn't hot, he would not be on that show. There's no way a 600 subscriber show at that time could make enough noise to get your attention to come on the show, because we're the hottest. Period. Yeah. Our content is different. Our content, like I always say all the time, we're not content creators. We are the content. It's a difference. It's a big difference. We are the content. If you're not, like I said, I keep on saying to everybody, if you're not Conversation with King, you're not Four Horsemen, and you're not the Community Garden, and you're not the family, if you're not those entities, then you wouldn't understand. We the content. We the content. Like I came up with the term our sphere, but my right hand man, Chef, came up with True Pill. The True Pill. Like if he tells you what that's about, then you understand why we feel the way we feel, Chef.
So, just again, I think M3 was kind of alluding to the little dissertation about the garden. Were you?
Which one? Like you talking about my comment earlier?
Yeah, were you saying something? I thought you wanted to explain me to explain about the garden, or no?
No. Go ahead. You can feel free to explain about the garden. Yeah.
So pretty much, we don't subscribe to what's considered manosphere. Manosphere it's got a certain rap based on different things, and we don't subscribe to that. That's why we call it our sphere. Our sphere is a bit different. It's a more inclusive kind of place with protections for people being able to express themselves respectfully. Right. And within our sphere, We have another area. We don't subscribe to blue pill or red pill theory. The extremes within those two theories keep the pieces so separate that there would never be any real discourse. So we're not red pill, we're not blue pill, we're true pill. And we even have an icon that's represented with a green pill, and it says the word true. We're gonna be doing the custom emoji for it as well.
Okay.
But we're not red pill, we're not blue pill, we're true pill. And we call it our True Pill Community Garden, just like our Facebook page. You guys could go and join True Pill Community Garden. Why do we call it the True Pill Community Garden? Because within our garden, we have two sets of life forms that we consider pivotal within that garden. They are the rocks and they are the flowers. The men are the rocks, the women are the flowers.
Right.
What do the flowers do for the garden? For the world? The flowers provide air, oxygen, life. Okay. Bees, birds feed on them and create life elsewhere based on what those flowers within our garden breathe out. The flowers within our garden always must be protected because of the fact that they breathe life into us. And what happens when we breathe in oxygen, use energy, and expel it? It becomes carbon dioxide, right?
Right.
But what do those wonderful, precious flowers do? They process it again and are able to breathe back life into us again, which means these ladies normally could take our crap as being our helpmates and still be there to pick us up and breathe life back into us. So they are critical for this universe, and that's why they must be protected. Where do the rocks normally sit within a garden? On the outer perimeter of that garden. Why? No one could just make a mistake and come and step on your flowers. If they did, they would face the pain of sharp stone and think otherwise.
Right.
And we also place stone on a place where we don't want the soil to be fertile to prevent weeding, which can choke out the life of our precious flowers. So in the end, we stand firm to protect our flowers within the garden. And, anybody that makes the wrong type of intrusion, would face swift justice. But yeah, the rocks and flowers, it's a garden that we got going on right now.
And I love that analogy into it, right? And thank you for explaining that to the chat, Chef, right? Because it's fairly simple, like you said, like you have flowers, right, that breathe and give life, and we as the rocks, the rocks have a role where we're supposed to protect, and the part that you said, like, if somebody steps on the rocks, right, they'll feel that sharp pain. It's the defense that we're supposed to supply. That way people know the roles are not just one-sided, especially between men and women. Everyone has a role. I'm tired of people saying that, oh, I don't need women or I don't need men. No, we both need each other.
Right.
Because if we don't have each other, this world is not going to survive. You know what I mean? But people don't want to believe that. So, you got to continue to find a like-minded community, right, that can help build and educate the proper way. Shout outs to my wife, Marion. Yes.
Shout out to the flower.
Yeah. King, we have heard you say the true pill on your channel. Thank you for sharing, King and Chef. Find it, folks. True pill community. Men equal our rocks. Women equal our flowers. Queen also says preach. Says protecting us. That's life, fam. And she says
we need you. We need you, sis. We need that air.
Like I said, it's like when we see women on our channel and we call them flowers. That's like the best compliment you could give, especially the whole Me Too movement, cancel movement. No one could say you sexually harassing someone if you call them a flower. For me, it's the safest thing you call a woman and give her a compliment without being intrusive. Flower.
Or patronizing.
Yeah, or patronizing. Yeah. Flower. Everybody loves flowers. Everybody wants to be around them. So And then rocks, you call a man rock, you remind him to be solid, but you also remind him, you know that rocks do grow. It takes millions of years, so it requires patience. So when we say rocks, we tell our men to be patient before they move, before they do anything. So
stoicism, right?
Yeah.
Let me say this too. Let me say this too. You know what I mean? You know, just like the man has to protect the woman got to protect the man too.
Yeah.
And
oh, roses have thorns.
Yeah, you got to protect us too. You know what I mean? You can't be out here, you know what I mean, dotting it up. You can't be out here doing certain things, sabotaging relationships, sabotaging business. You can't be doing certain things. You got to protect us too. It's got to be a two-way street. You know what I mean? That's why I love that song. Find love on a two-way street. Because it's a two-way street. You got to have both. I mean, we definitely both need each other. But what I was going to segue to was the whole 30 seconds of smoke thing, man. Oh, man, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, yo, where that 30 at? Where that 30 at? Where that 30?
Yeah,
I'm trying to find every device of mine to put that 30. I'm trying to find the laptop, the phone, everything. I'm about to put 30 everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to write 30 down, man.
And it's funny how we came up with that because 30 seconds. Now I watch battle rap, right? YouTube. So when someone says they 30 you, that means they beat you in all 3 rounds.
Yep, all 3. Yep.
Yeah. So when I say 30 seconds, it's funny because you got the community guard in that puts 30 and they start counting down for you. You feel me? And it's like they love it too. But also it was a way for us to I think it was Chef right there. He said, yeah, 30 seconds of smoke sponsored by Ripple. That's one of our sponsors. So we do that. So it's like, we try to have fun, man. We try to educate. We try to have fun. Really, really try to have fun.
Man, I love battle rap too, man. I'm an A-Verb dude.
Oh, word?
Clips, yeah. Hitman Holler. I mean, those my guys, man. I always look at them. Surf as well. Surf. Yeah, man. Shout out to Jersey. You know what I mean? Whole tri-state. But yeah, man. I love battle rap, man. I love battle rap a lot, man. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Head Ice.
Oh, the Wolf, yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Head Ice, man. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, people in the chat. I'm gonna be gracious and open the panel up. So,
link about to drop.
Yeah, but look, man, come on, let's help us out. Let's get up to subs tonight. So I don't know how many subs we have now, but come on, let's get to 500.
We need 5 more.
We all get there together. We all get there together.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said we need 5 more now.
5 more.
Chef, what you think, man? You think it should be nice and drop the link now, man, before 500 or what?
I don't know, man. You're a really good guy, and I think you deserve what you deserve. And I really want to speak peace to these folks' hearts to actually bridge this gap of 495 to 500. You see what I did there? I mean, bridging the subscriber gaps. Come on, give my man the subscribers, man. Come on, get the brother the subscribers.
We got 496 now. I just hit it.
496? Oh, okay.
Pull them burner for the dog, y'all.
I didn't know. I thought I was subscribed to you, but I think I was subscribed to your person. I don't know. I'm not really good with Maricela. Give them another like. If she hearing me, give them another like. I mean, another subscribe. We're gonna get to 500 tonight. That's the power of conversation with King. We got goals. You follow them, Chef. Give them another subscription.
Yeah, I already listen.
Good.
Both joints.
I appreciate you, Chef. I appreciate you too, King. So look, man. The fellas is right, man. I know my worth, man. So I know y'all want to join up in the channel, man. But man, get us to like 500. So once we get 500 subs, man, I'm ready, man. I got the link and all that. I'm not playing with you guys.
That's it.
So,
you get the community thing too when you get to 500.
Oh, you get the what community?
I think I got in the
community tab.
Community tab.
Where the community tab is kind of like the one where you can post almost like IG or a Facebook post where it's not actual video that's playing, where you could literally just post whatever you want to post and it sits in the feed, in the person's home feed, just like the IG post would. So you can put an image, you can put a conversation, you could put a poll, for instance, that you want to ask them that you could use later on in your show. You know, the community tab. You want to see it? It's pretty dope.
So you got two more left. You got two more. You got two more left.
You said we got two more?
To 500, I think. Yep.
All right, that's what's up. Thank you, fellas. Somebody trying to private message me. Somebody, where's the link? The link's not up there yet. You know. Look, we got $4.98. Thank you, fellas. $4.98, y'all. $4.98. We just need three more, y'all. Okay. I know. Look, subscribing is free. Liking is free as well too. Wait, Queen said we got one more.
Uh-oh.
Post it in the community garden. Okay. Man, shout out to everyone. Shout out to Minnesota again. You know, shout outs to like Kate Marion, E Black, my guy. You know, you're still here, man. Like, you know, we're gonna bring you in as well too. We just need like one more. Let me know like, in the chat that we have.
Like, we gotta hold people hostage. Right. You gotta hold people hostage.
But we need some true subscribers, man, because you know I know some people be like, all right, you know, I'm going to subscribe and then I unsubscribe after the show. Don't do that, man. Like if you want to keep it real with us, man, you know.
But this is what I'm talking about. I think this is something very crazy. This is why I'm on a crusade, because there's no reason why everybody can't have 1,000 subscribers. You know, it's like mathematically. It doesn't kill you to subscribe. It's free. We can all have 1,000 just to get monetized. I don't understand what, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. But I'm about to get mine. I'm getting mine before the 5th. I'm telling you that. I'm getting 1,000 subscribers before anything.
Yeah, you have to speak that to existence. So,
and work that to existence too. We're gonna work it. We're gonna work it too, brother.
Yeah.
Definitely,
let me get to the number 3 question, because I mean we're having some good combos right now, so man, I appreciate this though. But
that's the effects of conversation with King. Every place we go, they get more subscribers. That's on everything I love. Every show we went to, they got more subscribers. Right or wrong, Chef?
Yeah, that's why we're putting in work. We want to make sure that we keep it consistent.
Yeah,
exactly. Marion,
gotta get you that 5.
Yes. Salute, Queen. Thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships.
Subscribe, please.
We're going to open up to the panel once we get 500 subscribers tonight. Okay. Once 500, the panel will be open to the public. And you guys can feel free. Men and women. Okay, rocks and flowers. You know, are more than welcome to ask any questions as long as it's respectful. Respect to the platform. Respect to you, sis. I definitely appreciate you.
Definitely respect.
Yes.
Shout out to Hanifa. Peace, Queen.
All right. Let's get to the number 3 question. As men of color, how important to our culture that you are an entrepreneur and an author?
How important to our culture that I'm an entrepreneur and an author? Very, very important to me, because I am a creative. I find ways to create things that give back to the world and yet provide me ways of living the life I want to live. I'm an entrepreneur. I've found a way to practice social entrepreneurship in my community where I can own property and use the rental income to give kids scholarships to go to school. I also am an author because I have a creative side to me where I have to release, and everything I write, particularly this book, which I say is the Rosetta Stone of romance in the Bible of relationships, is gonna make you look at love and passion in a different way and make you re-examine yourself. So it's very important as me, as a black man, who I believe is the original man, to be a creator. This is who I am. It's no other way. And I think everybody possesses that. You just gotta tap into the God in you. You know, they give clues all the time. Like my book gives clues, but if you read the Bible or whatever you read, any holy text tells you your body is a temple of God. So if your body is a temple of God, you gotta find that God in you to do what you need to do to make your life better. And I think you could do that if you are a creative. And a creative comes in many things. You don't have to be art. You don't have to do sculpture. or oil paintings or fresco paintings. What you can do is you could have the art of words, and you encourage people to be better. You're creative. You're creative. But that's it. That's how I feel. It's very important for us to have that.
What makes me find him important as a man of color, undertaking those two things. And that's the thing that makes him special. Me as a parent, what do we say that the images that we see of our black men are? Dribbling the ball or spitting a high 16 on the mic.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's brought a trifecta of difference from that. Politician, author. You get what I'm saying? Activist. These are the things that folks are just normally going to chase the money to do other things, not these things. And the thing I respect is that he's actually showing a difference. He's actually showing a different lane that you can do with dignity and still be progressive and still have, be able to build wealth at the same time, but giving the kids something different. He's not talking about telling your daughter to back the ass up. Pardon me. No disrespect to the platform. He's not telling the sisters to do that, right? He's teaching the brothers how to love the sisters better. Yep. He's teaching us how to love the sisters, even in spite of some of those things that may rub us the wrong way with the sisters. He teaches us a humble, enriching type of love, the kind of love that will build communities, the kind of love that's not just a selfish love where you sit and wait for a woman to please you. This is the kind of love where you pour into her so that you wouldn't even have to ask her to do anything for you. She would want to. So he's talking some real stuff in there. And it resonates with people. And if you actually read it, if you give yourself a page, half a page, especially for the flowers, I guarantee you're gonna say, whoa. So he's brought a difference. I believe that in terms of what he's done, he's brought a major difference. But if you understand the family he comes from and the lineage of greatness, that he comes from as well, he had no choice but to do something great, whatever it was going to be. He would have been the dope shoe designer. He would have been Virgil before Virgil. Right. You know what I'm saying? So greatness was already a part of his path, but the fact that he deviated from the set path and went his own way is a beautiful story, because it's going to show them you could be an author. You can talk about love and not be a simp. You can do all of these things. You can take charge within your community. You can make an extraordinary impact to your community in multiple different ways. And I think right now he's a living manifestation of that difference.
Well, as I've been reading the book, man, the thing that really hits me real, just completely as a man, is in the Bible they talk about a love called agape love. It's that pure, just, no conditions type of love. You know what I mean? It's not based on conditions, not based on anything, it's just a pure, love for somebody or for someone or something. You know what I'm saying? And, I love the way that King does it in the book, man, because as a man, he really speaks to that, and it's not on some Playboy type stuff. It ain't on some simp type stuff. It's really a pure love for women and for life. And he's really telling men how to love, how to receive love, and just the in and outs of love and the meaning of it for real. It's not one of those books where it's kind of like a fantasy type thing. No, it's a real reality of what love should be, can be, and just trying to find love and be love itself. You know what I'm saying? Right. To your community and to others. So definitely shout out to you, Chef, for King, for writing that book.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I love it so far. I'm really in tune to it for real. But for you, Chef, man, as an entrepreneur for yourself, what do you think the importance for you is, man, for our community, our culture, and just the state of our people right now, and beyond.
For me, I deviated from a path that was set for me as well, and I had a different success trajectory in terms of that path. It's me being who I am. My marketing company is called Insomnia Marketing because I'm an insomniac, right? I'm a vampire to a certain degree. Not the energy stealer, but up late at night. I think a lot, and I take a lot of things into consideration. And I try to think about my community. A lot of times people think about changing the world, but don't even realize that change starts by, like Jordan Peterson said, cleaning your own room. So what I do is I make sure that I focus on those in my periphery, not just my love or family periphery, but I focus on those within my community periphery. You know what I mean? I talk to the brothers. I mentor brothers. I'm a corporate mentor as well. I've created executives. And without any need for a quid pro quo, no transactional movement. It was me wanting to do something positive for someone else so that they could pay it forward. So my impact on the community is going to be as big as my reach. As big as my reach. Right now with these 735 subscribers on the Conversations with King channel, I've extended my virtual reach already, and I plan to continue doing it. And the only thing I could do is speak my truth, my light, my positivity, build these bridges, but also allow folks to see that they can express that power as well by, doing public works, doing the right thing, not just falling back. And that's, to me, that's important.
Most definitely. Thank you, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Two more to 500, y'all. 2 more to 500. Let's get it.
Got it.
Yeah. Come on, man. Only 2 more subs, man. Like, why y'all make it so difficult? Come on. Don't y'all want to talk to King and Chef?
No, it happens.
Now, I know your granny got a smartphone now.
Yeah. What happens is though, I do the same thing, but as soon as this ends, you end up getting it. You always end up getting the ones the 2 likes or 3 subscriptions that you need. It always works out like that.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to say you want more, because you end up getting a few less. If you had said 5, let me get 550, you would have got 510. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, look, let me just raise the bar up, right? Get up to let me get 600.
That's it.
So yeah. I mean, y'all could do better. 600 subscribers, man, because I know everybody's watching right now. And in fact, and even the likes too. Come on, let's get the likes up. Let's get up to 40 of them. 30, 40, 50.
Right.
Y'all could do it. Let me go ahead to the number 4 question. Thank you guys, man, for sharing. Look, man, this content, man, we bring people with wisdom. People are sharing their wise words and all that. So, man,
exactly.
I'm doing you guys a service by bringing King and Chef into the platform. So,
yep.
Man, take advantage of this opportunity to meet and greet and learn from these guys. Give me 600, and 40 likes. So, number 4, are you inspired at your immediate success on your YouTube platform?
No.
You're not?
I'm not inspired because it was a goal of ours, and I believe you can manifest anything you want to do. So I'm a little bit shocked that people gravitate to me like this, but I'm not inspired because I don't ever want to be complacent, right? I don't ever want to say damn, we're not successful yet. We just hitting them benchmarks.
Yeah.
We're hitting the benchmark. So this is regular. It's a benchmark. After 1,000, we're gonna want 10,000. After 10,000, we're gonna want 100,000. After 100,000, we're gonna want 1 million. We want to pick up the game. It don't stop. So we're grateful We're extremely grateful because you don't have to be with us. But we work so hard. That's what comes with it. Like we put 12 hours, 14 hours a day to do a 4-hour show, then come back and do it again. I don't have a life no more. You feel me? What y'all see is us flowing organically, but we have frameworks.
Right.
We have frameworks that we stay within, and it's an art. We made the science of YouTube become an art. That's why our analytics is different. Our analytics looks like an anomaly because we made it into art. We had a sponsor before we had we had a sponsor before we had a like.
Wow.
No, actually, we had a sponsor before we had
Before the first video went up.
No, we didn't have a sponsor for the first video. We had it for like second.
Oh, you okay, yeah.
I'm talking about Ripple.
Yeah.
We had a sponsor before we had like people even know who we were, and before we had structure. That's what we had a sponsor. So it's like we're here, man. We're here, and we are grateful for our immediate success. We are grateful, but you put in that work, right? You put in that work, and that's what happens. Like when you do everything to make the life of your lady peaceful and comfortable, and she says, "Baby, I love you," you're like, "Wow, thank you," because you understand the work I put in. We do everything to make this our channel what it is. So when we get those subscriptions, we're grateful, but we're not surprised. We're not surprised.
That's a good mindset to have. Like, don't be content being complacent.
Right.
You know, keep striving for more, man. More. There's no wrong being greedy. You know what I mean? Like as far as in a good way, because you want to elevate yourself and you want to be the best that you can.
I remember the first conversation I had with you was I was in the gym. We was talking, and I remember Mr. World, the world's best. He said the best in the world. He says he didn't say, "Oh, let's get together and get likes." He started saying, "Let's get together and top these certain people." I'm not going to say their names, but these people's in the M's.
Yeah.
We not happy with this. This is a step we have to go through, but we ain't happy with 1,000. We grateful, but we ain't happy with that.
Exactly.
We want more. We want to take over. That's when we could be happy.
We're not even we're not even thinking about that one. We think about the one. Look, Joe Rogan. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
You got what? Almost 11 million subs.
Come on. That's what we're thinking about. So our goal is to get to that. We're nowhere near that. We're nowhere near it, but we will be there.
Yeah. You're not there yet, but soon.
We will be there.
Yeah. But you will be overlapping him soon.
One thing I can say, my idols become my rivals.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're my enemy, that means you're someone I at one point respected. And I never forget TLA because he's a rival, but he deserves the props that he got. And I remember one time in one show he said this January I was at 1,000 subscribers. Now if you look at TLA page right now, he's at 76, 78,000.
Damn.
He said it. If you go 2 shows back, he said I was at 1,000 subscribers in January. Now if you know how YouTube works, once you get to 100, 200, 300, your algorithm change. When you get to 1,000, then YouTube is going to put you in the forefront because they're making money with you now. You're a partner, so they have to put you the
product placement. Yeah.
So they're going to take you to the next level, and all you got to do is deliver the real content. So this is why. Don't worry. Once you break that ceiling, out of here. So that's why we're moving like we're moving, because we want everybody, like our family here and knowledge and relationships, get them to 1,000 too, because we want to make sure we situated by November, December, because guess what, guys? It's a winter coming. people are gonna be home and they're gonna need something to watch, something to listen to, and that's when they come to us.
Yep.
So let's get them situated for the winter time, because if we don't, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble. We gotta get this in before it snows, or we in trouble.
Yeah, help us prepare for cold winter, man. You know,
Right.
we
Right.
need
Or
laundry stuff.
it might. Remember, a lot of these people made a lot of money during the what? Pandemic. It might. God forbid we have another one. They're gonna come and watch us.
Yeah.
We got to get situated. So help everybody in the family get to where they need to get to.
Definitely. We have 500. Yeah. Yes. Let's go.
That's the power of conversation with King, man. King and Chef. That's what we do.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Definitely. For real.
Oh, all we did was just pick some berries from our garden.
That's what we do.
Very picking, right?
Yeah.
So, Chef, let me ask you, bro. How do you feel about, how do you feel about it, man? Are you, what is your take on it? Are you inspired by it, or do you feel like King? Is it like man, you're grateful, but you want to go higher, you want to go further? You know what I'm saying?
At first, I was inspired at the fact that when you understand that how many people listen to you, one of the things that anxieties that people have is being part of the the unheard class. Excuse me. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody wants to listen to what I have to say. That's just a natural piece of us. That's why some of us speak out louder, or some of us speak more profound. But seeing the kind of impact that it had on people was something that was special to me. There was a brother that came on the show named Rico. He's one of our regulars, and this was his first show. And Rico's an OG to me in terms of our time on this planet.
Yes, he is. Rico's the OG.
Right.
Shout out to Rico. Yeah.
Rico said to me, he's literally was like, "Damn, Chef." He was like, "Man, I wouldn't even need to pay a therapist. I'd come see you." And then he said something else that really,
wow,
it got me emotional. It got me emotional that night. He was like, "Man, you're the type of person that I would feel comfortable mentoring my son." Another black man above me said that to me, bro. All I need, and I even said it on the show. I was like, "Man, we could log off right now. I'm good." You impact one person out of 100, it's an impact, because that person has their own 100 to impact themselves. So at first it was like, wow, and I had the wow moment, but then I started to understand in my meditation and thinking about things. It's like, I got to do more. I got to do more. All I'm doing is running my mouth and sharing the duet of my brain and my heart. And that's it. I have a vernacular. I went to school. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not pushing a forklift. I'm not, flipping fries. No disrespect to the forklift drivers and, the folks working at fast food. I didn't mean it like that. What I'm saying is that I'm getting enrichment right now from enriching other people. So it's not about feeling so inspired. Now I feel like I have a duty. I feel like I have a task. I feel like that book he wrote is dope as hell. Part of my task is to get that, make sure Oprah has a copy. You feel what I'm saying? I feel as though what we have has to go out now. It has to be multiplied and amplified. So am I inspired? No, I'm emboldened. I'm emboldened right now. I've got a suit of armor that tells me you're doing the right thing. Go to battle. So I'm on that battlefield.
Battlefield, a strong battlefield, man.
Man, definitely, man. That was powerful, man. Thank you for sharing that. Shout out to Rico too, man. Every time. I'm sorry, Chef. Go. What were you saying?
No. I said thank you for appreciating that.
Oh man, definitely. Thank you for dropping the jewel on us, man. We needed that, man. We need the love for real. Shout out to Rico too, man. Every time I see Rico, man, just from his style, his swag, and everything, Rick James just start playing in my mind for some reason.
When I was a
That's
young boy,
funny.
Just keep him off your couch.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Real quick. All right. Look, let's set a record, right? Let's try to see if we could get up to 100 more subs like tonight. I know y'all could do it, But as a man of my word,
Yep.
I'm gonna I open up the link to the people in the public. So feel free to come up in there. We do have one that's waiting for us right now. So I'm gonna bring her in real quick so she can ask a few questions. So I'm gonna bring her Queen Forever 2K21 until next year.
Hello.
What do you want, man? What do you want?
I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens, so big up New York.
Outside.
Right.
Not no affiliations with Nicki Minaj, but
Where you at? Where you at? Baisley?
No, Sufton Boulevard.
Oh, you're in Sutphin. You're not too far. Okay. I used to have a house on Linden in St. Albans, right up the road from you.
Ah, small world.
Yeah.
But I'm on the West Coast temporarily, trying to find my way back home, but it's all good. So, Chef King, thank you for being a part of this platform. Why are you laughing? You're the best in the world. Leave me
You know why I'm
alone.
laughing. Go ahead, girl. Do your thing.
Chef, I didn't know you were going to be on tonight. So I do have a question for you, but I wanted to talk to King first. I noticed that, you said about the scholarship. I noticed on your page, you had a lot of young people talking about the scholarship that you blessed them with, and I just wanted to know what inspired you to do the scholarship, and are you still currently doing it?
Oh yeah, we still currently do it. We used to have the Ned Merit Scholarship. Now we have the Kofi Homeku NYCHA CUNY Scholarship, which I sit on the advisory council for NYCHA. So we have made a $50,000 commitment that we give to any
NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority.
Yeah. So housing,
not no small stuff.
Right. So we committed to 50K to any young man and woman that attends CUNY but lives is a NYCHA resident.
Oh wow!
We do it every year. If you go to the NYCHA page or the Fund for Public Housing, is every year. And what happens is I think the particular school selects the student based on where they live. So if they live in those particular housing complex, the school will notify them to do a rigorous application process. And then hopefully they end up getting it. Because we are the ones that actually give the money, we have no say in it because we want to make sure that it's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you
a 10-year commitment, so we're still doing it. So this is
our
fourth year.
That's good. That's good. Are you still interested in running for city council?
When I came back home, I wanted to, but I don't think so because I think this is where I'm supposed to be at. It allows me to be who I am, and I feel like I could still give back to my community without dealing with the nuances of trying to gain endorsements from organizations I wouldn't deal with unless I have to. So I like to be able to, but you never know if the people are willing to embrace progressive change, then you never know. But I doubt it. That thing is the political game is very treacherous, especially in New York City. And it's hard to be an incumbent, and it's hard to be people if you're not coming through certain ranks. See, I came through the ranks of a community activist and advocate. My father, but I ain't come through. He was never part of politics. Never. He was more so. If you want something done, he'll mobilize the people, and the politicians had to listen to him.
Oh wow!
Right. So that's what it was. So I think my thing is with the people. Now I'm trying to mobilize the people and gain their trust on social media, because I have big plans for our community, our Black community, and our global community, where that we're gonna definitely make some changes on
Okay.
social media for us. Yep.
Where did
To piggyback. Oh, go ahead, Queen. What are you saying?
no, go ahead.
To piggyback off of what Queen is saying, and the reason I'm messing with Queen because Queen is family. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you gotta mess with your family.
White.
You know what I'm saying? Queen is family. You know what I mean? Hey, relax. Like I was saying, now you know what I mean. In our community, you know, you got places like Floyd Patterson Park, shout out to Floyd.
Yeah.
You got White Park. You got places of those nature, and those are milestones and those are places that we love. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think, needs to be just fixed? You know what I mean? I know they got like the old library on Mother Gaston or whatever.
Stone Ave. Yep.
You know
Stone
what I'm
Ave
saying?
Library.
Yes.
It's the
What do you
first
think?
children's library in America.
Say it again.
It's actually the first children's library in America. Stone Ave.
Wow. I used to go to that library just to read newspapers. Wow, that's
Right.
cool. Um,
Mm.
with that being said, what do you think needs to be built up in our community in Brownsville? Like, what do you think we need more of?
Well, me, I have a educational background, so my biggest wish for Brownsville is because we're in the middle of nowhere at times, but I think we need more collaborative efforts from higher ed institutions. So I hope that every university or every renowned hospital or museum adopts an elementary or junior high school in Brownsville, and
Oh,
you
wow.
to help that particular school, uh, 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 you know, help that particular school
Yeah.
grow in regards to the level of teachers they have, the resources they might have, as well as just the infrastructure. And I think that's very important. Every school you go to, public or private, they always have a collaboration or a partnership with a museum, a
Yeah.
hospital, a university, where they could pull from those particular institutes that have money and have individuals that care who are well trained to help the students advance. And I think that's what Brownsville needs. It starts with the educational system. 'Cause like I said, it's easier to build a child up than to repair a broken man.
That's right.
That's true. That's true.
I have another question for you, King.
Yeah.
Where did the love acronym come from?
It came from my heart. It came from my heart. So love acronym is legacy, ownership, vocation, and education. And if you turn those four letters around, those are the first four letters of evolution. So
Mm.
if you build a community, you have education, then you get vocation, which is a job, then you get ownership, which is you buy a house or property, and then you pass it on to your children legacy. So I try to find a way to make everything simple and for people to remember. Because some people don't really care about policies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you give them something to give them a framework. One thing that's important to me is providing frameworks for people to learn and for people to grow.
Wow.
Mm.
So I have a question for you and Chef. I didn't want to leave you out, Chef. Um, I think, you guys are just so powerful, and
Thank you.
it's so refreshing to see Black men um respect women. I
Yes.
think on your platform the other night or the other day, I heard you say you made a statement about your book, and then you asked the woman who was on your platform, you was like, "Man, did I offend you?"
Right.
And we don't see that. We don't see that every day. We don't, I definitely don't see it when I look at the other platforms out there.
Hmm.
Um, Women are mocked and made fun of or put down or pitted against each other,
Right.
because everybody wanted to see a cat fight.
Right.
Um, and so I just definitely commend you guys. And I definitely wrote in the comment section, it's really great to see kings wear their crowns
Hmm.
and to give back to your communities, because we don't see enough of this,
Right.
and I'm older in age, and I'm a social worker, and I'm about to
Yay.
start a nonprofit in New York and out here in the West Coast. And I definitely would like to get in your ear and see what we can do to collaborate in the future.
Hmm.
Like I said, my heart has always been to educate myself and come back home and give back to my community
Right.
always. No place like New York. I don't care where I'm at. I always want to go home. So my question for you guys is like, what's your vision for your community and for the platform that you're given on social media? You kind of already answered that question, but what's your vision for the community as far as what you want to see happen and how,
The community where we come from, or the community garden, which is social.
Community garden, and where you come from and where you're at.
Well, my vision for the community is to change. Is for Brownsville is to eventually evolve into a place where we could keep the young men and women who are educated to come back and help those who are not. That's going to take years, right? That's not something that happens overnight. It's going to be a shift in paradigm. As for the community garden, this is one community I feel like, since me and Chef built it, we built it in a way where we control the direction of the garden, and just like you said, it's for us to feel safe. If we could protect the flowers in the garden and we could make them feel safe, then we're able to have dialogue that will get us to solutions that benefit men and women. We don't want to just benefit men. We just don't want to benefit women. We want to benefit everyone. It's kind of like what Ebony says. We need each other in order for us to be happy. I just don't understand how men could be around women and disrespect them. Like, who did you learn that from? Because I tell people the story every time. I'm from a place with killers and gangsters, and the same killer that was killing people, fighting people, would tell you, I have to get home before my wife kills me. So
that old lady across the street.
Right. I don't understand like why we not trying to make our ladies feel comfortable, and I don't know where the hatred came from. To me, it's a little bit weird, like nothing makes you feel better than a woman, right? I don't know where this comes from. I don't know.
Yeah, some of the craziest dudes I know, man. They'll be singing R&B songs, and next minute you know they'll knock somebody down.
Right.
And they'll go back to singing an R&B song.
Right. I don't know where this comes from. Yeah. So
those are men that have like the love, like for their spouses, for their partners, because they understand that these are the people that's gonna like be solid for them. They're gonna hold them down, like when they're in the pinch. But you have dudes now these days that I think the lack of respect comes from a lot of hurt and just not having the knowledge to be able to connect with a woman. You know what I mean? And so I know somebody in the chat, like Linsky, said something about like, other platforms are too aggressive on women. That influence came from Kevin Samuels. I wouldn't even really say like the influence came from Kevin Samuels. I feel like Kevin Samuels is exposing most of these people who are been feeling that way, And so it just so happens is that people just came into the manosphere, with a lot of red pill rage against women, and that's not even the whole point of fighting. We're not even here to like fight women. We're supposed to be here to understand women, understand ourselves, and allow them to understand us, so we can come together as people and become wholesome. But you're always going to have those few people that they'll run into a burning bush or run into a train, without taking precautions, without like thinking straight. And so that's why you have a lot of people that do personally like attack women, because it's just a lack of guidance and understanding,
right?
And self-control on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think it also goes back to that quote you have on one of your Instagram from Dick Gregory, that this isn't a revolution of black against white. This is a revolution of right against wrong.
Right.
And right has never lost. And I think we've taken our eyes off of what our parents or grandparents did. And we think that the young people today think that they know better. And so everything is shock value, like I want to be like this because Cardi B made it. So I'm gonna go after whatever Cardi B did, I'm gonna do. Or Meg Thee Stallion, whatever she got, I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna be that, because that's the way you become the it girl. And then it's a lot of lack of self-respect. I mean, one of my jobs, I work with transitional age youth, and I mean, these young girls were doing some crazy stuff at the hands of 15-year-old boys. And I'm like, well, first of all, who taught you that your value comes from a 15-year-old boy? And, why would you ever let a 15-year-old boy direct where you're going to go and harm yourself? Like, I mean, I can't even get into it. I mean, it was crazy, but I think it's a lot of that too. It's like music and the industry and shock value has raised a generation that has completely started disrespecting themselves. So if I don't respect myself, I can't expect you to respect me, because I'm telling you my self-worth is in your hands. So did you want to answer the question, Chef, about your vision for the community?
Sure. My vision for the community is, it would probably be multi-tiered. One of the reasons is we can create an infrastructure, but we still have to deal with the people. We're human beings. And once the human effect comes into place, it can throw out brick and mortar tangibility. So what I think is important is us figuring out a way to not just push the youth into a corner and say you're wrong. We have to come from a place of understanding. Because right now, the young bucks, they're not really trying to listen to the OGs.
Nope.
They're not really trying to. And if that OG happens to be, not in a high socioeconomic class, it doesn't look like they're getting it, a lot of them are not even trying to listen. They're going to be like, how can you teach me when you can't even do it for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to start early, man. It's got to start with mentorship. Yeah. It's got to start early. We have to attack the issue within the formative years. If anybody who's in the chat or on the panel has children, you understand that where the formative years are and how critical it is. But then when you think about the way that you take care of your kids, the way you rear them, and just think how many of our young rocks and flowers that exist within our urban communities that don't even have that, but then we come to them with wanting them to have a level of understanding and a level of stability and a level of psychological infrastructure to be able to process all of these things going on in this crazy life. For me, it has to start with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the infrastructure will be able to actually direct the traffic or direct the flow of evolution or change. But if you don't touch the kids and you create the infrastructure, you create the building, they're going to mash it up.
Yeah.
So for me, it's going to start, for our community, it's really going to have to start at the kids. And what's crazy is the last piece is, it only makes sense. Look at corporate America. Besides our sisters, who's the number one they sell to? Our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids, so they were able to focus on it. There's so many things that are targeted towards the children.
Yep.
But I feel as though within our community, we don't focus on them enough.
Yeah.
So for me, it's attacking it at the earliest point with our children within the formative years, and then addressing infrastructure.
Yeah. I think there was this group of fathers. It's in the East Coast somewhere. I can't remember where. It was on the news about one of the high schools where there was a lot of fights.
And the 40 dads.
Yeah, and they just started something, and they went and it completely stopped. Like, You know, like they completely stopped fighting in the schools, and they were like, when I see them, I think my father is watching me, so I know I better get to class on time. And you know, and they were being questioned like, what do you guys are not trained? And they're like, we're fathers. That's all we need. That's all
It was
you need to
Louisiana.
care and make an impact. Yeah. And I think it's the littlest things. And being on the West Coast and being from the East Coast, I've always said to even the youth that I've worked with that there are so many opportunities out here that are not even thought of in New York. There's so many programs out here for kids to be a part of. They can learn how to do tech coding, build a computer, so many free programs that are just everywhere. And you know, I tried to get as many of as the youth that were on my caseload. You know, I got quite a few of them in the field, and some of them were interning at Google and Facebook, and you know, and they were doing great things, you know, working for BART, which is like the transit system out here, making $30-40 an hour, being 21 years old. But you know, that's been my passion, is to try to come back and learn what these programs did and bring that back to the East Coast because it's not out there. You know, I was so inspired by Gregory, I forgot his last name. He started the Harlem Children's Zone.
Yes, Canada, Jeffrey Canada.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Canada. Yep.
Yeah, and so he came out here and he spoke at quite a few organizations because he was like, I started as a tutoring program, and look at what I have now. And so they were trying to build different programs around what he did, you know. So yeah, so I thank you guys for being on the platform. Welcome, and you
Thank you,
know,
Queen.
keep your crown shined
Thank you.
and sparkling. What's up, M3? Take it easy.
Appreciate you,
And
Queen.
Yeah, thank you.
best in the world. You
Thank you,
hang in
Queen.
there too. You
Yeah, see
guys
you
have
later,
a
Queen.
good
Have a good
night.
day.
All right, thank you so much for the questions. All right, Queen. All right, come on, everybody. Like, now, let's get these likes up though. We got 29 likes, so let's get them up real quick. All right. You
Yeah.
know,
Let's get to 30 likes,
yeah.
35, 40.
Shoot, even 50, man. You know, I want it
Woo.
all, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So this is one question, but I'm gonna switch this up real quick, right? And let this be the number 5 one. Let me go ahead and pull up real quick. The number 5 question will be, okay. All right. Is YouTube or social media beef real, or are people clout chasing?
Is YouTube for social media people clout chasing? I think it is clout chasing. But it could get real. It could get
Okay.
real because the level of disrespect only certain people can tolerate, and then you start having fans. This YouTube world is full of people that don't have a real grasp on reality. So you might be having issues with someone and you think it's just on YouTube, but that person might be a real fan and act on it, right? So you want to be careful who you inspire to carry out your type of your wishes outside of the real world, right? Um, you don't know what people are going through mentally. So for me, it's for them. For me, anybody someone comes at me is clout chasing. Me, any issue I have with somebody is because they did something to me. So then I'm going hard on them. I'm going hard. But I always, if you look at my description and you look at my banners, I always say this is strictly just for social media. It should not leak outside into the real world. And for me, forget about the ego. It's market share.
Yeah.
It's simply a battle of market share for me. So I put it back to the corporate. For me to people say focus on you, King, and then let them do them. Yeah, I could do that, but I could also do both, right? Because you want offense, you got defense, right? So for me to persuade people to come to my show, I'm going to give you the best content. I'm going to give you the best structure of that content, but I'm also going to provide evidence that whatever you've been doing before me ain't the truth. And So when you come to my show, it's very few people that could come to Conversation with King and go back to other networks and feel the same. It doesn't sound the same anymore. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't, like, you can't come to Conversation with King and go back to any other network because you're gonna feel unfulfilled, right? Unless you relish in ignorance. If you love ignorance, then you could go over there. You know, if you love ignorance, you can't come to my page. Anybody that comes to my page, step it up. We force you to think deeper and to be bigger. That's the period for us. But it's clout for a lot of people, and they gotta cut it out, man. We could have fun, we could joke on each other, but we don't have to take it there. You feel me? I joke on everybody, and I want them to joke on me, but let's not go there, you know, because people might not be like me. Whereas I know what I signed up for. I don't care if you talk about me or whoever in my life, because I know the truth. But there's some people that's not like me, and they might go take it another place, and to me that's not cool. Chef?
Yeah. What do I believe? Coming into this YouTube world, I learned a lot. I was puzzled a lot too, you know, because I'm a man of code. I grew up with a code. I still live by a code. And it just was really weird at some of the people that we came across. The people that would, you know, put themselves in front of you and act like they're cool with you and your friends, all of that. But by the same token, everything they're doing is just to get some likes up, you know, just to get some subscribers up.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of things that some folks say that where I'm from, you don't even say it over the phone, much less saying on the screen. You don't even say it on the phone, you know, the kind of things that folks be saying to each other. And then you know, and you can recognize, because real recognize real, and you can see it's not about that life. And so it's like, when I look at some of the folks, you get what I'm saying? It's almost like looking at like claymation characters like Gumby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was the show, by the way.
They weird. Yeah. It's very weird. I'm trying to use and be articulate and use something more, you know, much better than weird, but it's like it keeps coming back to weird. So I began to pay close attention to certain things. A couple times when I thought the young Bull King I thought he was being paranoid, right? I thought he was being paranoid. And then 30 minutes later or a day later, like, see? And I'm like, wow. It's really weird. So what I've learned to do in these situations is, because I understand my limits and I understand the importance of what I feel that I have to bring to my community and bring to this world, there's certain conversations I'm not even going to participate in, because in certain conversations, I'm not really a talker. You follow? So I stay the other places and, you know, let the other folks do what they do, but it's very weird. So do I consider those beefs real? I don't see any of them people. I don't see it transferring into the reality space. I don't see plane tickets, you know, bus rides. I don't see any of that happening. You know, we're in this virtual universe and it's a lot of this. That's what you're gonna get, a lot of typing. So I don't consider it real. I barely consider some of the constituents within the YouTube universe. I don't consider them all real as well, because they'll have a persona and then back channel is a whole different thing, man. So I'm still learning this piece of the world. This is a new piece of the universe, man. It's a whole different code here.
Right. But I no disrespect. I don't think people are going to play with us like that. in real life. I don't. You know, I just met my big bro, Chef. But the energy that we bring, I don't think people are going to play with us in like real life, and at all. And that goes for celebrities to YouTubes. And no, this was what's it? Day Seuss and Marino. What's their name again?
Oh, Jesus and Mero.
Jesus and who? Moreno.
Jesus and Mero.
Jesus and Mero.
Yeah.
The dark skinned Jamaican guy from the Bronx and the Dominican dude married to the Jewish lady that lives in the city, and they have an amazing show, but they have a show of millions of dollars. They on top platforms, and they rep New York, and they to me they have a unique show. And I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but one time I actually saw them get impressed by Envy on a show, and they didn't stand to it, right? One thing about, and no disrespect to them, and I hope they don't take it the wrong way because they're successful in their own right. But what me and Chef would never ever back down from our words and our principles, no matter who's in front of us. So I don't think people feel comfortable to press both of us like that. And the fact that to make us deny what we stand for, because I said we put work in. We don't get in front of this screen without knowing what we're about to talk about, and without knowing how we're going to deal with it. And I brought those two up because you have people who are successful, but when they got tested by another person, successful person, they were stumbling. Why were they stumbling? Because they were wrong, and they weren't exercising grace and power. They talked about his wife or something, mentioned his wife, and he told them, he said, "Don't mention my wife," and they stumbled. We are not those people where we say what we say, we're going to stand by it. And we are own men, because sometimes Chef doesn't agree with me and I don't agree with him. But we will never let anybody come before us and basically make us not stand on our word. I just don't see it. Like, you gotta understand, we our whole lives we've been fighting people bigger than us. Our whole lives. I was fighting the barons. I fought the feds. Our whole lives we've been fighting people bigger than us. So this YouTube thing is cool, but we not. We different. We're so different compared to everybody else. I can't wait till y'all see our growth. That's all. When you see, we're gonna see the difference. When we step into the room or we step into anything, you're gonna see our difference. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Right. And that's powerful statements too. You gotta stay on your word, you know.
Stay on your square. We're not like these guys. We're not bullies. We are not bullies, but we're protectors. So it's a big difference. We're not bullies, and we're going to protect what we stand for.
Yeah. Even for the guys, right? Even like, let's just say if you're wrong about something, just take accountability and be like, hey, I'm wrong about this.
Right.
Okay? Because we all make mistakes.
Right.
We all have our personal opinions. There's times I have my opinions and then I think about it and then I have to go back into it. But at the same time, if I feel strongly about it, I don't even care who I offend. I'll let you know my intentions is really not to initially offend nobody, but I can't stop you from feeling how you feeling.
Right.
If I feel a certain type of way that needs to be addressed, I'm going to say it.
Yes.
And one, I'm going to just share like one little story. I was like just on a platform like not too long ago, not today, but it was like I'll say 2 days ago, and somebody was asking me for advice. Since we are in non-traditional relationships, we talk about a lot of relationship issues, celebrity issues, all kinds of life, right? And I'm giving these two sisters the game about like, look, this is why certain people may feel like a certain type of way. Is it right? No, but is it right for men to also get disrespected? No, by all means. And so the narrative that I was trying to put out there is that both men and women have to start growing by holding each other accountable.
Right.
Now, of course, that wound to be an argument because it wanted to go way left. Because remember, society do look at us as leaders,
Right.
Which I do agree on that part. But when I hear somebody trying to use that as a way to try to shift blame and not take accountability at all, that's when I also have to speak up. No matter what platform I'm in, if I feel like something's not right and you're not trying to take accountability, I'm gonna call you out. And this ain't no disrespect to anybody. I gotta look. Call me out if you feel like I'm off, off the rails. But I try to do the same thing, like when I go to other platforms as well too, though. In all fairness,
definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though, M3.
Mhm.
This is what I'm saying, and I would, like I said, that group again, Jesus and Mero, they said something, and when they got confronted about it, they didn't stand tall. They apologized.
Yeah.
We are not like that. We're not going to say something we can't stand by.
Right.
So it looked like they got pressed or they got punked. I brought that up because don't have anything come out your mouth on this that you can't stand by, because you will get pressed. You will get pressed on here quick. Whether you right or wrong, somebody's going to say something about it. So you got to be strong about your principles. Chef?
Straight up. Your word is your bond. Your word is your bond. If you don't mean it, don't say it.
That's it.
If you don't mean it, don't say it. My lady, I got a 5-year-old, and my lady, there was times she's like, look, if you don't do this, listen, if you don't do this, I was like, yo, if you don't have the energy to go and stop her, don't say it, because with each additional reiteration of the threat, it becomes less powerful.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So your words, you have to stand on your words, man. And it's important. Your word is your bond. Somebody that knows a man can stand on his word. It's like word doesn't even mean as much as the way it used to. But that's word is one of the ways that you speak a covenant. You get what I'm saying? Words is how we communicate with God.
That's it.
Whoever your God is. So words are powerful. We speak truth to light. We speak our own truths. But when you're saying words that you don't mean, you demean yourself, bring yourself down, and you discredit the value of your future words. And you lose your impact. So for me, your word is your word. Accountability. I believe in accountability. You get what I'm saying? I believe in accountability. At some point, I don't believe in forced accountability. I believe in accountability. So what is accountability? If you're somebody that's within my periphery or my purview, and we are acquainted and could communicate, and I see you moved in a way that was untowardly to a sister, for instance, I'll just use that as an example, I will holler at you without question. Okay. Once I holler at you on it, if the behavior is not corrected, then I have a choice. One of those choices is to also not be around you and not rock with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's also different layers of accountability. And as you progress to the next layer of correction now, if that person is not, if their soul is not willing to absorb your correction, now that accountability becomes some sort of aggression or assault. So we can hold people accountable, but holding people accountable doesn't mean to force them into a subset of behaviors. Holding someone accountable is letting them know that you're not pleased with what they're doing and that you want them to make a change. And if that change doesn't take place, it's a different conversation. But that different conversation could just be you eliminating that energy from your purview. We want to save the world. We can't save the entire world. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me say this, and three, you know this for a fact, man. You know that through the years, man, I've become more tactful in my approach, more wise in my approach, man, because I just realized that words, one person that I follow and I watch his content, he says words are spells, and they are, because the energy that you bring forth or what you say, will attract whatever energies are around you. You know what I mean? So that's why when a person immediately says something negative, they feel negative. But if they say something positive, that positive energy will radiate. Or even if you smile, that also, you smile when you talk, it also brings a certain amount of energy too. So definitely the words have an impact. So I just know how to be more tactful, and just growing up the way that, the way I grew up, I just understand that, as Chef was saying, certain things, you can't even say. You know what I'm saying? You say it, and that could cost you your life just by saying the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And it could be something like when I came out to the Bay Area, a lot of dudes would call each other the B word, and it just really, I really try to stay away from that, because in Brooklyn, you just don't say that, man. You tell a man, you call a man a B word, man, it's bad. You tell him to do certain things to your man parts, is bad, man. So it was kind of different for me, just kind of, seeing different cultures and different ways that people speak. You know what I'm saying? And it helped to open my mind, though. I'm definitely grateful for the experience of being out here in the Bay and opening my mind to different cultures and different things, because that's how the world is. Each part of the world is different. The one thing I do appreciate about being in New York is the fact that, we do have a code, and a code of respect and a code of conduct. I do. I know every other place has different codes of conduct. So I think me being out here in the Bay has taught me how to be tactful. It's taught me how to accept different people from where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody's going to see things a certain light, and you have to understand that. And that's why a lot of times when somebody will say something, and I used to always wonder, like, why would people ask people this question? Like, when they would say certain things, somebody would say something, they'd be like, man, where you from? You know what I mean? Because once you know where a person is from, now you can understand their state of mind somewhat. You can understand, their place of reference, or where they're getting their own energy from. Doesn't excuse disrespectful behavior, though. Doesn't excuse the behavior at all. But at least you kind of understand why they're saying what they're saying and why they're bringing certain energies. And then what you have to do is stay in a positive state. Always stay in a positive state no matter what, and bring that positive energy so that they can just be a better person. So yeah.
All right, guys. All right, King and King will have to go. For sure, like, Chef, you probably have to go as well too. We are at the 2 hour and 30-minute mark, so I want to go ahead and just assume you guys in, and feel free to shout out like your platforms. Chef, if you don't mind, can you type in your platform link, and also like your IG as well too, so then I could add that to the description. In the meantime, let me see. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna give you guys a minute. Let me give out these shout outs real quick. Shout outs again, man, to the people who are watching, like E Black, just a guy who gives a bleep, Marcella, shout outs to like Linsky, Colin, shout outs to Mrs. M3, shout outs to Queen Forever, 2K21. Shout outs to Marion Magic. Let me see. Shout outs to the boy ZB. Shout outs to everybody, Crystal Blueberry. Shout outs to everybody that came, in the chat, give me your comments as well too. And also thank you everyone for basically just helping us to get over like 500 subs. I mean, look, we still want more. This is only the beginning of it. So, I'm happy, but I'm not content.
Right.
And yeah, so this is Chef's YouTube channel. Definitely check him out. Let me see. I'm gonna definitely try to post a link whenever I can. But yeah, check out his YouTube channel.
Too. Yeah.
What's that again?
IG is, I put the IG in there. It's Chef Chupino. It's just those two words as one, at Chef Chupino. That's I did
Okay.
it.
So
Definitely,
at
definitely.
Chef Chapino. All right.
At Chef Chupino, one word. Yep, like it's showing under my.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chef, I'm gonna zoom you in real quick first, and then go ahead. Like, feel free to say what you want to say, and then I'll get to King.
First and foremost, peace to the rocks and the flowers within the knowledge and relationship garden. It's your boy, Chef Chupino. I definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in and making sure you give my man his subscribers. You can come for some, I'm going to be doing a lot of relationship talk and everything on the Conversations with King channel. But because I'm also a chef, I'm going to be doing some food stuff on my channel. So if you jump over there, hit the subscribe button, you're going to see some food, you're going to see some poetry and food. It's a different kind of movement in terms of what I've been posting too. You're going to see a couple of excursions, live excursions to some restaurants. So it's still a growing channel. So please like and subscribe and be blessed.
Thank you, Chef. And then after this, I'm gonna definitely subscribe to your channel as well. So
I appreciate
I got you. All right, I'm gonna highlight you, King, man. So go ahead, my brother.
I want to say thank you to everybody for coming to the garden of our family, knowledge and relationships. We appreciate you. All the rocks and the flowers that followed us into this particular garden. We are grateful for you, and we are forever loyal to you as well. I want to tell everybody, please, if you haven't, go tell a friend to go and subscribe to Conversations with King. Is probably the best thing you could ever do for someone, especially if they want to seek truth or solution-based conversations. I am so grateful to M3 for allowing us to come on this show and to express who we are and to have control over our narrative. We are the family, and there's no other thing bigger than us. Always remember that. And I say family because we still have people in our family that we probably don't know yet, but you're always welcome. And join the movement that's winning, forever winning. Thank you.
Thank you, King.
Thank you, King. Definitely, definitely.
All right, Mr. Best in the World. I'm gonna highlight you.
Yes, yes.
Oops, hold on, let me comments. See, there we go.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Knowledge and Relationship Experience as usual. We appreciate you all. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to Queen Forever 2K21, K Marion. Shout out to Maricela Flowers. Definitely salute to you, sister. This is the guy who gives a thank you so much for liking and subscribing. We appreciate you. You know what I mean? Shout out to Limsky. You know what I mean? Shout out to E Black TV, my guy. You know what I mean? Shout out to Darrell. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody, man. You know, in the comment section and everywhere else, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to the boy ZB. You know what I mean? Atlanta Thrasher. You know what I mean? Colin Mitchell. And definitely shout out to everybody with knowledge and relationships. Shout out to DJ Eddie King. You know what I'm saying? The music coordinator of knowledge and relationships. First Lady Tammy. You know what I mean? Shout out to her as well. Of course, shout out to you and three. Oh man. Definitely everybody please like and subscribe. Conversations with King. Okay, on YouTube. Thank you so much, Chef. You know what I mean? And thank you so much, King, for being on with us, man. We appreciate you, man. Love you, brothers, definitely, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to the all Brooklyn, man. County of Kings. What we do, we here. I am the network manager for knowledge and relationship. Catch me at MR Best in the World 1984. Once again, MR Best in the World 1984. Thank y'all so much. Much love to everybody. Have a good night. Take it away in 3.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. And thank you guys and ladies again, for just coming and just blessing us. And we have 502 subscribers, so we're going up strong. So thank you, King and Chef, for blessing us with your presence and with your conversations. Go ahead, check out Conversations with King. And other than that, before anybody else tune into the next live streams, make sure your flowers and your rocks get your minds right. As always, we are out. Later, everyone. Thank you guys. A salute to the kings out there,
Yeah.
queens.
Chef, stick around if you can. Stick around if you can, Chef.
Yep. I'm here.
All right, for sure. All right, Ken, I know you have to go, so
Yeah, I
thank
know
you
you
so
gotta
much,
go,
man.
bro. Much love. Much love to the family.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Welcome,
Later,
bro.
everyone. And let me go ahead and play the outro.
DJ.